Back post double crochet and enclosing yarn in back post stitches. Yarn over, and we have to insert hook in the back post of the next stitch. So before doing it, I'm pushing that other end with my hook to the back, inserting the hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, and now the other working end is located between the loop on the hook and currently working end. So yarn over and finish the double crochet, and you can see that the yarn got enclosed in the stitch. Let's take a look at the wrong side. No strands on the wrong side. Let's repeat it, pushing that end to the back, inserting hook in the back post, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, finish double crochet. A little bit faster. It's very easy to enclose yarn in back post stitches. I'm currently working with 2 colors, but if I worked with 3 colors, I would just have 2 ends here, enclosing them just the same way as I'm enclosing one end right now. Front post double crochet. So I just made back post double crochet, and I'm going to switch to brown color coming from the skein to avoid ends twisting. Just finishing this last stitch with brown color to make front post double crochet in back post double crochet. No need to enclose yarn in single front post double crochet, and again switch to gray color coming from the skein while finishing this stitch for the next back post double crochet made with gray color. Let's make one more and take a look at this front post. Single front. The next stitch is 2 back post double crochet together. First leg, and second leg, enclosing yarn at the same time and together. The next stitch is back post double crochet, but what makes it special, it is made in 2 posts of previous round decreasing stitch. The next stitch you see is 2 back post double crochet together, so it has 2 posts. So we're going to insert hook around both posts of that stitch, and it's always indicated in the written instructions. The next stitch again is 2 back post double crochet together, but this time we will make first leg in back post stitch and the second leg again in decreasing stitch from the previous round, 2 back post double crochet together. So we have 2 posts here. First leg and the second leg is around both posts of decreasing stitch. Now I have to finish this stitch, but my next stitch will be front post stitch and made with brown color, so I have to switch to brown color, and to avoid twisting ends I'm grabbing that color coming from the skein. And making this last yarn over with brown color. So we switch to brown color while finishing previous stitch, and our next stitch is 2 front post double crochet increase, or 2 front post double crochet in the same stitch. And first I'm going to show you that stitch without enclosing yarn. Just let's practice a little bit. Yarn over, insert hook in front post, and just make front double crochet. And another front post double crochet in the same stitch. So this is 2 front post double crochet increase without enclosing yarn. Now let's do it the proper way while enclosing yarn. So yarn over, insert hook in the post, in front post, and make that double crochet, but stop when you have 2 loops and hook before your last yarn over. That's the time when you have to enclose yarn in the stitch. So I'm taking my hook behind both working ends. And now the only thing you have to remember is to make yarn over that brown color. You can do it this way or this way, it doesn't matter, whichever way is most comfortable for you. I'm doing it this way. It can look a little bit tricky, like all this manipulation with the hook, but the only thing you have to remember is that you have to make yarn over. That's it. The second front post double crochet in the same stitch, 2 loops on hook, taking my hook behind both ends, and then yarn over that brown color and draw that loop through all loops on hook. The next stitch is again 2 front post double crochet increase, and we keep enclosing other end in the stitches behind both ends, yarn over brown, and draw that loop through both loops and hook. One more, and that's the last front post stitch in this sequence. When you see a gray yarn peeking on the right side, just pull it up a little bit, but not too much. So my next stitch is back post double crochet made with gray color. So technically I don't have to enclose yarn the way we have been enclosing in front post stitches for that last stitch. I'm just grabbing that gray color coming from the skein to avoid ends twisting, and just yarn over gray and draw it through all loops and hook. Finish that stitch with gray color. So the next is 2 back post double crochet. It's a little bit tight spot here, a little bit harder to insert hook in back posts. So watch your tension. Do not make stitches too tight to avoid struggling in the spots like this one. So I made a last back post double crochet, and my next stitch is front post again, and I have to switch to brown color. So I'm grabbing that brown color coming from the skein to avoid twisting, yarn over and drawing it through both loops and hook. Front post double crochet, and it's going to be the only front post, just one stitch, so we don't have to enclose yarn in that stitch. It's not necessary. Front post double crochet, and I'm finishing it with gray color, and again I'm grabbing yarn coming from the skein to avoid ends twisting. Next stitch is back post double crochet, nothing new about it, enclosing yarn in the stitch, and the next stitch is 2 back post double crochet increase. There is a little trick here. So I made first back post double crochet in the stitch, and now I'm about to make the second one in the same post. So instead of inserting my hook like coming from the back, make just yarn over and slide that hook from right side in the same spot. It's much easier to make. The result is the same, probably even better. 3 front post double crochet increase, not much different from 2 front post increase. Switching to brown color while finishing previous stitch, and making 3 front post double crochet in the same post and enclosing yarn. First, second, and the third. And again, there is no need to enclose yarn in the third stitch. We are switching to gray color for the next back post. So I've shown you before how to handle two working ends and enclose them in front post and back post stitches. And now I introduce the third color and have to enclose two working ends in stitches and handle those, switch between three colors. So my next stitch is front post double crochet, and I will enclose two ends. The technique is exactly the same. There is nothing different, except I'm holding now two working ends and enclose them in the stitches. Another front post double crochet, and the last one. And again, we're not going to enclose yarn in the last front post stitch, and have to switch to gray color. So I'm letting all ends go, and to prevent twisting, grab your next color coming from the skein. So I grab my gray color and two other ends in my hand to enclose, and switch into gray color. Back post increase, two back post stitches in one, back post double crochet, and switching to brown color for front post stitch. So again, letting all ends go and grabbing brown color coming from the skein. I suggest to place all skeins in separate bowls. It will make things easier. Front post, again switching to gray color, grabbing that color coming from the skein.